Hello and welcome to Ejaculation Mastery for Women. In this safe online forum, we're going to talk about female ejaculation. We'll consider it, explore it, and invite it into our lives. I just want to give you an outline of the program so you know what to expect. Over the next few days, we're going to have some theory. We'll discuss and discover female genital anatomy. We'll discover those parts on and in ourselves. We'll discuss the anatomy of female ejaculation. We'll discuss and get clear on what are the two types of orgasm, clitoral and G-spot. And we're going to do that because ejaculation only comes from one type of orgasm. We'll do several types of meditation. Now, some are very active, profound meditations that require you to move your body in a very strong way. Other meditations are passive, where you get to stay still and visualize. We do these meditations to move stuck and stagnant energy, which could be a barrier to ejaculation. So therefore, we move the energy out of our bodies and ejaculation becomes easier. We'll discover through exercises the PC muscles and your highly erogenous zones. We'll discover your U-spot, the G-spot, and the A-spot. We'll explore fire breath orgasm to expand your self-mastery of pleasure. And I'm going to guide you through a yoni self-massage. We'll do some pleasure mapping as well. Pleasure mapping is a way of calibrating or measuring our pleasure. We'll practice some methods to ejaculate without orgasm and with orgasm. Yes, you get to separate it. And lastly, we'll discuss how ejaculation ceremonies can enhance your relationship with yourself, your lover, and your partner. If you have any questions, please private message me. Tools for your pleasuring and toys that you need for this program. In a few days, we'll be doing some self-exploration, and you need a toy that's going to work best for you. So, to help you choose, I'm going to introduce to you my preferred pleasure tools for this exercise. And I'm introducing them to you so that you can consider what you want to use as well. You'll either have something similar already in your own treasure box, or you might need to go and purchase one from your local sex shop. This first one is called a mango juicer. Now, the inventor of this toy purposely labeled the device mango juicer so that husbands in some countries where it's frowned upon, even dangerous for a woman to have personal sexual expression, wouldn't know what the toy was actually for. So the labeling was to keep the woman safe while empowering her. Me, I really like it because it's high-grade resin, it's lightweight, and somehow just magically just the right length so I can reach myself properly without pulling a yoga pose. And of course, the second toy is a glass dildo that I purchased from a sex shop. Firstly, not only is it really beautiful to look at, it has a kind of heaviness that gives me a reassured feeling. So that's something for you to consider. What emotional reaction do you have with your toys? With both, I clean them and I make sure that I keep them in their own pleasure box. Of course, everything in this pleasure box is only for fun, pleasure and lovemaking, and you probably have something like this for yourself. Now, please note, if you do use a glass dildo like this beautiful one, make sure you soak it for a few minutes in warm water before you use it. Your internal temperature is much warmer than room temperature, and if you don't warm up your toy before you use it, you can give yourself a terrible and awful shock. And yes, I had to learn this lesson the hard way a couple of decades ago when I was a young woman. Who you're being today. I just want you to check in for a moment. How you're feeling. How are you feeling right now? Today, and what we're here for is a kind of out of the ordinary experience. And for some of us, it could be your first experience at attending a sacred sex online workshop. So firstly, I want you to get present to how you can influence your experience of this program and get the most out of it. I want you to consider your experience. I want you to consider who you normally are, and then consider what you need to do differently here than the person you normally are at workshops. So just consider your current existence. What does that mean to you? Just go inside yourself, consider your state right now, and consider what you might need to do differently in order to bring about a different result for here. And when we're together for the next few days, be hungry for. So I'll just explain what I'm trying to say about that. So when I'm at work or at a dinner party, I might be maybe giving, 40% of myself. So just imagine you're surrounded by people, you're only half listening, you have a smile on your face, looking like you're engaged. All the while, inside, you're disengaged and you're thinking about other things. So that's what I mean by being hungry for. The exact opposite of that would be an Olympic athlete at their personal training session, really hungry for coaching. So they'd arrive there seeing that there's a gap between where they are and where they want to be, and they're hungry to fill that gap. So they kind of really suck everything up. They relate to the Olympic coach with a kind of, give me everything you've got, I'm going to take everything on kind of approach. So I just want you to consider how an attitude of being hungry for is a state of high performance, and it's a state as well, it's a mind state where change can really occur. I'd like you to take ownership. This program is for you, it's all about you, and it's all yours. So if you're here online doing the activities, listening to the podcast, don't be here expecting the work somehow to magically shift or do something to you. You're going to have to fully participate and not just, look engaged but silently resisting. Take full ownership of your experience online here. I also want you to undertake this journey exactly as you are. You are free to be your imperfect, unenlightened self, as well as your magnificent, extraordinary, fabulous self. You don't have to worry about having it all together, well thought out, and be an expert. So you don't have to be perfect before, during, or after this program. And look, we've all gone to school, some tertiary workshops, seminars, and retreats to master our skill sets, but probably nowhere in your life have you been to a make love until you completely melt and ejaculate school. So the content and what's required of you in this online program is a little different to what you've experienced before. So just stay authentic. Risk telling the truth to yourself, because that's where the growth really happens. And I want to introduce 3 premises for operating in this program. 3 basic premises that I want you to consider. They're imperative to the success and outcome of your results, and they're the foundation to your experience of yourself as a divine, sexual, highly desirable, worthy of love woman. So premises 1, our lives are a creative work in progress. So until it's brought to our attention, we can kind of live life as if the one we're having is the fake one, and the glamorous, sexy, super successful one, the real life, our real life is just around the corner waiting for us to bump into it. So the first premises I'd like you to take on today and in this program is life is a creative process, and our thoughts, beliefs, assumptions, choices, and actions and words are the tools that we get to invent our experiences and our circumstances every day and every minute of every day. Second premise, we have a say in our destiny through the intentions that we set. And although our lives seem to be headed in a particular direction, we have the ability to alter the likely course of our lives through setting a very clear intention. We have the ability to create circumstances and opportunities in our lives by setting clear intentions and by committing to and living in alignment with these intentions. Can you see what I'm saying? Premise 3, the issues in our relationships are mirroring back our internal issues with ourselves. If we're having difficulty sustaining love, nurturing and committed relationships, the place to look is at your relationship with yourself. Ask yourself, in what ways are you failing to love, honor, nurture, cherish, and commit to yourself? And your real self, not the self that you're striving for when you lose some weight, get a promotion, buy that house, move to that new town, meet this amazing partner, your soulmate. Commit to yourself with who you are now. I'd like to set some agreements with you, please, for a harmonious online experience. So, firstly, look, by all means, if you're comfortable, please share with others what we do in this program and what you're getting out of this program. I want you to be mindful of creating a safe vessel, like a chalice for yourself while you do this online program. Please send love and compassion to the other women also doing this program. Hold space for everyone to receive the learning and the breakthrough that they're looking for. Be open and available to receive love and compassion from others. Please don't share with other people the activities that we're going to do with this online program, because when information is taken out of context, some of these sacred sex activities that we'll do in the next few days will really mess with people's minds, simply because, again, they're taken out of context. And we are not in the business of messing with people's minds. There's already enough misinformation, self-shame, shutdown out there. And I just want to remind you that this online program is not the place for you to be working on your relationship problems if you have any. Please park them outside of your time here. Just press the pause button on them. Please be willing to be your non-perfect and wobbly self. Please be willing to risk seeing the truth about yourself, to yourself, where you might be lying, where you might be fibbing, where you kind of might be just faking it a little bit, and sugarcoating or pretending that you're doing fine. Again, if you have any questions, please private message me. Right now, I want to set an intention with you which is going to hold you through for the next few days. So, having established safety and guidelines for our time together, you are now free to set your intention on anything you want for yourself. Let's just take 3 deep breaths together so we can get really present. Please close your eyes. Take a deep breath in. And breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. And breathe out. Now, just allow your mind to find and settle on a statement, a word, or maybe a few words perhaps, maybe even a sentence. This is your intention that you are setting for yourself for the next few days in our online Ejaculation Mastery course for women. Silently say this intention to yourself. This is your declaration for what you're creating and what you're declaring you're pulling into your life. So ask yourself, what do you want for yourself in your life? Please declare your intention to yourself. As I've previously mentioned, some of the sessions in this online program is theory, and we do that theory so that we can really have a deeper understanding of about ourselves and about concepts, okay? So in this program today, I just want to explain some words that you're going to hear and their definitions. So firstly, what is Tantra? Tantric words and the definitions that you're going to be hearing in this program are, firstly, Tantra, the word defined, means to expand, spread, continue, spin out, weave, to put forth, to show, or to manifest. It's thought that Tantra is about 9,000 years old and originates from the Himalayan mountains. Of course, it's heavily influenced the Hindu, Sikh, and Buddhist religions, and of course, it's thread with Buddhism to East Asia, Southern East Asia, and then to the Western world. It's thought that tantric practices were brought to the West in the early 19th century, and rather than a single coherent system, Tantra is an accumulation of practices and ideas characterized by ritual and ceremony. We'll be doing some ceremony, ejaculation ceremony, later on in this program. Tantra seeks to join the microcosm with the macrocosm. That means connect one individual, you, with the universal spirit. It's a practice that focuses on moving prana, or energy, through the body by intention, breath, and visualization practices. So these practices change and alter your physical and emotional state and create a heightened state of experience. And of course, Tantra is considered the divine interplay between Shiva, the supreme god, and his wife Shakti in the Hindu principles. In other words, Sanskrit is the ancient and classical language of India. Kundalini is an ancient Sanskrit word that refers to a subtle form of spiritual energy linked with vitality and spiritual enlightenment. In Tantra, the use of sex and sexual practices, including orgasm or prolonged orgasm with delayed gratification, it's said that the energy of Kundalini is awakened and can be induced on the person and in the person up the spine and throughout the body. Yoni is a Sanskrit word for vagina. It means sacred temple. Amrita is the sacred Sanskrit word for female ejaculations, and it means immortality. Interestingly, there's a throat ejaculation that is also supposed to represent immortality. Lingam, that's a Sanskrit word for penis, and it means wand of light. So Yoni, sacred temple, and Lingam, wand of light. Really beautiful words. Sacred sex. So I just want you to consider that in this concept, sacred sex is the idea that sex or sexual union is a way of bringing prayer or how you are with your higher power, whether that's a God, whether that's source, whether that's nature, whether it's spirit world. It's how you get to bring that higher power and lovemaking together. It includes that the idea of seeing your partner as a divine entity and not just a human being, and that setting your heart dial on love, you can touch and help and heal a person of their emotional wounds. Now this one you'll be very familiar with, chakras. The chakras are said to be 4 centers or pools of energy inside your body and are considered to be focal points for the reception and transmission of energies. In the West, we have a 7 chakra system. There's actually many more than that.